Skinny privilege is better, and here's why. So I just made a poll, and my question was, what gets you further, skinny privilege or pretty privilege? And out of 230 votes, 76% of you ladies chose pretty privilege. And I can understand why, but honestly, I was very shocked. And this is the reason. You guys, skinny privilege will grant you pretty privilege, but pretty privilege will not grant you skinny privilege. And one of the best examples I can think of right now is Lizzo. Lizzo is beautiful. I don't know if you ladies know her. If you don't, look her up. Face-wise, she is very beautiful. Body-wise, she is not skinny. And if you notice, there are women who are skinny and they're not even conventionally beautiful, not even by a measure of what Lizzo is or your average beautiful bigger girl, but she will be seen as more beautiful and receive more preferential treatment because she's skinny. I'm based in America, and I believe most of you are. I do have some ladies who are international, and I love you. Thank you for being here. But here in America, I feel like universally there are beauty standards, but here in America it's different, right? The thicker body type, even the BBL was like trending for so long here. But when you go outside of the country, you look universally, skinny, being thin is what is desired. It's what is preferred throughout the world. And even so, still in America, right? Because even though we, for quite a few decades, we liked the thicker woman, she still had to be that still shape, right? You could be thicker, but if you had to have the hourglass, the Coke bottle, right? So even in the realms of thickness, there was still more of the desire on the thinner side of that thickness. You understand what I'm saying? I look back on myself, and this is something that I always talk about. I've never gotten any type of plastic surgery, no filler, no Botox, nothing. And in the face, I look the same as I did 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever. The only thing that has changed is the amount of weight that I am. So like I said, I've lost 86 pounds. So I just say 90. So I've lost 90 pounds. My face has stayed the same structurally, right? Still have the same nose, still have the same eye shape, still have the same eyebrow shape. But as I've lost weight, I get complimented more now on my beauty. Does that make sense? I have the type of cheekbones. I'm looking at myself as I'm making this video. My cheekbones could literally slice a piece of cold butter. Like, they are sharp. I look the same. However, because I've lost that weight, you're able to see my beauty more because you're not distracted by my body. I don't know how to explain that, right? Your body is a tool. I think I made a video on that. But the weight that I have lost has caused people to be able to see my features more. And it's not lost on me that now, 90 pounds lighter, I get complimented on. I'm not even that tall. I'm relatively petite, so I would not be able to be a runway model. I could be a petite model, definitely. I could definitely do print. I could definitely do, I definitely could do modeling. I'm not extremely short. I'm about 5'4". Yeah, 5'4". So, I say all that to say, my height is not that of a model, yet I get told on a daily that I could model, that I should model, that I look too beautiful to be working where I am, or going the places that I go, wherever the case may be. And it wasn't until I lost that weight that I've started to hear that. So I was really shocked when I saw so many ladies choose pretty privilege. And it's not, yes, it could be unfortunate depending on how you look at it. I don't know. It's just how you decide to look at life. But being thin, being physically in shape, it will cause you to be seen as beautiful. And even if you're beautiful, if you're 50 pounds or 60 pounds overweight, Yeah, people might say you're pretty or you're cute, but you will you will be overlooked. Okay, how do I say this? You could be a 10 in the face and be overweight, and you could be of 5 in the face and have, the perfect body type for yourself, being thin and in shape. And you will be seen as more beautiful than a woman who's a 10 in the face just on your body, because your body is a part of pretty privilege. Like, thin privilege is a part of pretty privilege. Um, you know, a lot of times when you go ghost or you don't see people for a while, one of the first things they comment on is your weight. If you've lost weight, they say, "Oh my gosh, you've lost weight. You look good." Or, if you've gained weight, they might not say it just to not be rude, but they're looking at you like, "Ooh, what happened?" Um, and even being overweight will age you. I get told now that I look like I'm um in my early 20s, 19. Like, I get carded all the time when I go out and I buy alcohol or wherever the case may be. I get carded every single time. And it wasn't until I lost that weight. And it's like people also associate being thin with youth. On my social media feeds, I notice that more so like the Eastern European women, they tend to put a emphasis on being thin. And I don't say this in a mean way, because this is not what this platform is. They might not always be the prettiest, but they have the support, they have the following, they have, the community. And it's honestly really driven on just the fact that they're thin. Like, it's not something to tiptoe around. Like, it's just a reality. You will be preferred more when you're thin as opposed to when you're bigger. Like, I feel like the only way it is acceptable for you to be bigger and it's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, is one, if you're pregnant, two, if you've just had a baby, or three, if you've had some, unfortunate health issues go on. Like, those are really the only times where it's like, even though you're big, it's like, okay, it's understandable. But if you're an able-bodied person and you're just bigger because you're just bigger, because you just don't have control over, your plate or your ability to stop yourself from overeating, like, people don't really have that sympathy, like, another thing, eating disorders. Women, okay, I think overeating is an eating disorder. Like, binge eating, like, obesity, all that is an eating disorder. However, people are not sympathetic or caring to women or men who have that side of the eating disorder. People are only really considerate and caring when it's people who have like the anorexia or the bulimia or whatever side of the disorder. So that's just some food for thought. I was really interested to see the outcome, and I really want you ladies to sound off in the comments, because I would like to further this discussion. And yeah, just kind of see if you understand what I'm saying, if you can understand where I'm going with this, and if your thought has changed. This video wasn't to change your mind. It just was more to analyze the results of that and share with you ladies that, the truth is, being thinner is more of a privilege than being pretty.